By the end of this episode, you'll see how one thinker, born in Leipzig in 1646, dared to imagine the building blocks of reality, not as atoms, but as souls of the universe, programmed in harmony by God. Leibniz invented calculus, laid the groundwork for digital computing, battled with Newton, and proposed a metaphysical architecture so radical it still echoes in modern science and philosophy. He asked, why is there something rather than nothing? And his answer shaped more than math. It shaped our view of reality, freedom and God. Picture 17th century Europe, war, religious conflict and the birth of modern science. In Leipzig, a boy grows up surrounded by his late father's books, a library that became his playground. By 12 he's fluent in Latin. By 14 he's studying philosophy and law. By 20 he published De Arte Combinatoria, a vision of knowledge as combinations of basic elements, an early dream of symbolic logic. He rejects academia for a life in service as an alchemist, diplomat, engineer, historian and mathematician. He meets Huygens, studied Descartes and Pascal, debates Spinoza, and invents a calculating machine capable of all four basic arithmetic operations. Through it all, Leibniz sees one truth. Beneath the chaos of life lies divine logic, a rational design connecting everything. In layman's terms, he basically grew up as the original genius multitasker, philosopher, inventor, mathematician, diplomat, trying to decode the source code of reality itself. He begins with two foundational truths. The principle of contradiction. Something cannot both be and not be. And then the principle of sufficient reason. Everything that exists has a reason why it exists that way. Nothing is random, not even existence. Why is there something rather than nothing? His answer, because there must be a necessary being, one that cannot not exist, and that being is God. From this logic flows optimism. If God is perfect and rational, then the world he creates must also be the best of all possible worlds. Suffering, imperfection, and evil all play a role within the grand harmony, parts of a divine equation beyond human comprehension. In layman's terms, Leibniz is saying nothing is random, not even pain. If God exists, then even the worst parts of life serve a higher mathematical reason. Now for our sponsors. Need a rest or reset after a long night out? Or a powerful recovery drink to fuel your workouts? More Labs has you covered. Their clinically proven recovery and energy drink helps your body rehydrate, rebalance and recharge. Whether you've been out celebrating and drinking hard or grinding through your next athletic challenge, hydration at its finest. Check out morelabs.com and use promo code Vancrux1 for an exclusive offer. That's Vancrux1 at morelabs.com. Back to the episode. Leibniz's most radical ideas: the universe isn't made of matter, it's made of monads. Monads are indivisible, non-material soul particles. They don't take up space or collide like atoms. Instead, each monad contains a complete reflection of the universe within itself, like countless mirrors showing the same grand scene from different angles. There's a monad for every being: you, me, the trees, planets, even God. The supreme monad form, or from where all others derive. Monads never truly interact. They merely unfold their pre-programmed states in perfect synchronicity, designed by God's initial act of creation. If its metaphysics meets divine software engineering, everything in existence runs on its own internal code, yet the entire network runs in harmony, not because of physical contact, but because of perfect programming. In layman's terms, imagine every person, animal, or object as a little universe that reflects the whole world inside it, and God's the coder who made sure they all run in perfect sync. Here lies one of Leibniz's most poetic and powerful ideas. If monads don't interact, how do we explain cause and effect? How can I move my hand and the world respond? He answered, pre-established harmony. God, being all-knowing, set every monad's timeline in motion at creation. They don't influence each other, they simply unfold in harmony like perfectly timed clocks all ticking together. Not because they communicate, but because the divine clockmaker wound them simultaneously. This solved the mind-body problem that haunted Descartes. Instead of a mysterious interaction between soul and matter, Leibniz said both are running parallel, two aspects of one divine plan. In layman's terms, it's you and the world aren't really bumping into each other. You're both playing your parts in a script that God already wrote, perfectly in sync. Leibniz didn't just apply this principle to metaphysics, though. He applied it to everything. In theology, it justified the existence of God. In science, it drove his search for logical order in physics, motion, and mathematics. He argued that for every fact, from the fall of an apple to the rise of an empire, there is a reason why it happens this way and not another. Even evil had a rational explanation. In his theodicy, Leibniz argued that the presence of evil doesn't disprove God. It's necessary for the universe to be balanced and free. Without contrast, there can be no choice. Without imperfection, no progression towards the good. In layman's terms, everything happens for a reason. Even the bad stuff. It might not make sense now, but in the big picture, it fits into a perfect puzzle we can't fully see. His faith and reason weren't in conflict, they were one. He believed God was the ultimate mathematician, crafting a universe that was not only moral but logically optimal. To him, God's perfection meant this world, with all its flaws, was the best possible version that could exist, balancing beauty, freedom, and natural law. This optimism became both his strength and his curse. Voltaire later mocked it in Candide, but Leibniz's view wasn't naive. It was grounded in logic, in the idea that the universe is a rational system, not a cosmic accident. In layman's terms, the world might not be perfect, but it's the best one that can exist, without breaking the rules of logic or free will. His genius wasn't confined to philosophy, though. He invented calculus, independently of Newton, devised the binary system that underpins every modern computer, and built one of the first mechanical calculators capable of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. His dream was to create a universal language of reason, where all ideas could be expressed and resolved through symbols, a vision that foreshadowed modern AI and programming languages. He wrote of a calculus of reason that could settle arguments the way math settles equations. Let us calculate, he said. In layman's terms, he basically dreamed up computers 300 years ago, seeing logic not as philosophy but as a code waiting to be written. His vision extended far beyond math, though. He theorised kinetic and potential energy long before the term energy existed. He proposed that the Earth had a molten core, anticipated modern geology, and even outlined early ideas of the unconscious mind and communication theory. He built water pumps, submarines, mining machines, and even primitive steam engines, proving that philosophy and engineering were two sides of the same intellect. He called for academies of science across Europe, corresponding with over 600 thinkers, uniting religion, reason, and invention into a single pursuit, understanding the harmony of creation. In layman's terms, he wasn't just talking about logic, he lived it. He built machines, wrote code, predicted psychology, and saw everything as part of one divine design. His legacy is one of optimism, but not the naive kind. His was the belief that reality, logic, and divinity are threads in the same tapestry. That beneath chaos lies reason, beneath randomness design, beneath the noise harmony. He once asked, why is there something rather than nothing? And maybe, in the world of monads, divine logic and binary code, the answer is simple, because the universe is God thinking. And in layman's terms, everything, even you, is a thought in the mind of the universe.